Actually, Decaf, I was technically first. Hello, welcome to the cafe. As always, I'm your host, Dr. Lampwick. Uh, yeah. I don't know. Frick. I screwed it up. Frick. Ah. I got some kind of email or something about like Twitch having some like new features or something like that that creators can use, and I didn't check it at all. I was like, hey, that's cool. And then I didn't check it. Should probably be more on top of those things. Oops, I forgot to turn on my warmer. Ah, this thing can go up to like 175 degree or higher. There's no reason that my coffee needs to be sitting at 175 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no reason for this. Anyway, hi. Oh goodness! It's like every time I sit down. Well, I agree that cold coffee isn't good. Also, welcome, Bopsy. I agree that cold coffee isn't good, but it doesn't need to be sitting at like 150 degrees. I can't even drink that. I mean, I guess I could, but what? What kind of hot liquids are you drinking? I keep mine at 125 and it gets too hot. Huh? Huh? Goodness. Also, I find it funny that you spawned in as like this tiny little dino. $200 is crazy. I don't even like that color. Okay, yeah, I like that. Him. Anyway. Whoa. Oh, I got confused. Something popped up on my little dashboard and I thought it was important. It wasn't. Man, looking at the little dinos, it makes me remember my days playing Ark. Put so many hours into that game. It was insane. Me and my friends one summer, my friend who has like a dedicated server, or had a dedicated server set up for it, he was like, "Hey, this game is cool. We should all play it together during the summer when we all have time." That was back when some of us were in college and stuff like that, and the rest of us had, jobs and lives and stuff like that. So we all played Ark together, and it was actually awesome because my wife and I both were on the server, and she really enjoyed the game, uh, which is not common. She's a bit picky when it comes to games, but uh, we all made like this massive base and had all these dinos, and it was so cool. We put in an abnormal amount of time into the into that game. It was honestly a problem. And then it just kind of fell off like it does, unfortunately, when you have a bunch of adults, all trying to play a game together when you got other things to do in your life and no one is like chronically online, as it sometimes happens. I don't know. I don't really have any like deadbeat friends. Pretty much all my friends have like fairly successful careers and, are married or, you know, have kids by now. They didn't back then, but most of them, most of the ones that are actually married do now. I still have quite a few single friends, but times a change. Times a change. A little sad to think about, but you got to move on, Gotta gotta be okay with growing up. It's my wisdom for the day. You gotta be okay with growing up. Yeah, I was talking about my IRL friends, or my non-online friends, I should say. Uh we used to game a lot together. We don't much anymore because we're all real busy. You're right though, Decaf. If I'm right about what you're getting at, you and I need to hop on and play Super Battle Golf at some point, since you were kind enough to gift it to me, and also because I think it'd just be fun. I know Frog played it on stream. Yeah, exactly. Frog played it on stream a little while ago. I'd love to get a bunch of our server friends together and play it, but even if it's just you and me, maybe you can show me the ropes before we get into something more serious. But yeah. Oh, thank you. It's a PNG of a menu board off of a free use website. I don't have to go into that much detail, but I'm an oversharer. I feel like it works fairly well. It won't be on the gaming screen, but I figured it was fine for in the cafe, so to speak. It's actually quite hard to size properly, oddly enough. I probably won't put it up in the lounge just because the lounge is kind of most of it is taken up by the display capture screen because it's supposed to be for like reaction videos or if I'm pulling up my Logos software or something to look up something from, like a Bible verse. Yeah, I watched a little bit of Frog stream when she played it, and it looked like a lot of fun. I wasn't able to stay for much of the stream, so I didn't get to see the whole deal, but it looked like they were having fun with it. As soon as I sit down to stream, I start yawning. I don't know what it is. I literally don't know what it is. Good question, Renee. Good question. Everyone's on the menu. Hold on. Ah, why are you behind it? Dang, I was gonna actually put you up there. Okay, you can get down. Goodness gracious, you walk into the stream and suddenly you're a terrorist. Let's see. I could put it behind the stream avatars, but like I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Hold on. Whoops. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that should work. Didn't end up streaming last night. The oldest got sick. Ah, sorry about that, decaf. Well, I hope your oldest gets better very soon. Now you're really on the menu. He 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 he. That's chill. Yeah, never really been into racing games myself, but I've seen a lot of people liking the new Forza. I don't know. That is an interesting question to be asking. Interesting. I probably can. I can. All right, you can come down from timeout. Yeah, since I'm basically jobless at the moment, I decided that I was going to try and stream a little bit more. Now, obviously there's other important things I need to be spending my time doing, but I've been a little bit better lately about actually doing things. But I figured streaming would help keep me out of trouble, so I don't start doom scrolling or something like that. It's at least somewhat uh, somewhat useful of a thing to do, if nothing else than keeping me out of trouble while I'm at home. I was thinking about something earlier and I can't remember what it was. I don't know, different things keep coming across my feed on Twitter that I want to talk about, but not on Twitter where a lot of the context is, so it doesn't really make any sense. Oh yeah, that was it. Uh a big current discourse um on Twitter right now is sexualization and VTubers especially. And you know, that's kind of low-hanging fruit in my opinion, but it bears talking about, you know. And obviously most people aren't going to take the current discourse, that's right. Uh Most people are not going to take the Christian or the moral the objective morality stance. So you can't really argue with them on it. It's just interesting, you know? Because when you think about it, even the origin of VTubing, which was Japanese idol culture, is meant to prey upon primarily male sexuality, um, by basically putting forth the image of this perfect girl who is entertaining and pretty and very appealing. But the one of the huge things one of the huge things about idol culture being idol-chan, one of the huge things being oh, if they have a relationship, it has to be secret because the only reason they're popular is because guys are hoping that, oh, 1 in 1,000 chance, 1 in 1,000,000 chance. But what if I could be the one, Um, And I wouldn't necessarily put that on the idols themselves because it is an industry. Yeah, that is true. Shaved head and formal apology. I've never seen a shaved head one, but I've seen apologies before. But yeah, so VTubing being ultimately based off of that, I feel like we've brought in, like, into the West a lot of, like, the more toxic aspects of the idol culture and lost a lot of the more positive things from its original, Japanese. Whoa, why did that happen? My chat just, like, freaked out. Did you guys see that, or was that on my side? Like, the text went, like, back to its default, and it, like, had it reloaded. That was scary. What the heck? There is an aspect to that. Yeah, lost the purity while keeping the worship. Well, and VTubing, especially in the West, has become an opportunity for what's a non, how can I put this? Expressive sexualization. Okay, yes. Yeah. That is a better way than I was going to put it. I was going to use a different word for that, but yes. It is Oh, thank you for the follow there. Whoa, everyone jumped. Whoa. Oh, thank you, Decaf. Man, Decaf, you are just absolutely on it. Unfortunately, I see the follow before I can read their full freaking chat. And so I answer them as if they were a legitimate follower, and I feel like I'm moron afterwards. Anyway, I don't even know how you do that. A new friend to discuss harlotry with, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty scary, honestly. Every new thing I learn about how AI is being used, not in, like, the creative Gen AI sense, is terrifying and pretty dystopian. But anyway, yeah, I feel as though VTubing has become another mask for people's dang, that's crazy. Really? Man, that's scary right there. What was I saying? Yeah, I feel like VTubing has become even for guys, even for, like, male VTubers, of which there are obviously few. But I feel like it's become just another method for masking uh masking any consequences for being sexually degenerate, because you can have your well endowed model with all kinds of physics and just be as degenerate as you like, and there are plenty of guys who are so brain rotted on porn that they just eat it up. They like the degeneracy, and there's no shame, doesn't exist anymore. I feel like we are reaching a plateau, but it's not on the AI, like it's not on the technology itself advancing, it's on the hardware. Because we're hitting hard limits on the ability to keep large language models, especially online, because it takes so much in the ways of resources. Yeah, I'm still not on board with the whole singularity part of it, personally, but I don't think we've reached the depths of depravity we might get to with it, with what we currently have, and any advancements we make in the future. I got by keyboard. Yeah, that's true. Also, well, and with multiple countries pushing like digital IDs and stuff like that, I mean, anonymity is going to become a thing of the past. The anonymity that has protected the internet and people on the internet thus far is going to become a thing of the past. And in a way, that's a good thing, but in another way, it's an extremely bad thing. I mean, you think freedom of speech and things like that are already being attacked. You get digital ID and stuff like that passed in any country, and that stuff no longer exists. I forget how many it was, but a staggering number of people have been arrested in the UK alone for things that they posted online. And I believe that the king recently made like a proclamation or a declaration that they were basically implementing nationwide digital ID. Because they're losing control of the narrative with all of the immigration and the protests and stuff like that. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Amelia. Okay. Yep, Amelia. It that whole thing was so funny because that was like basically government propaganda, right? Like the actual government made that. And then they got mad when people started to use it for the exact opposite of what they wanted. Oh, you didn't know about this, decaf? Okay. So TLDR, the was it just Great Britain, or was it like the UK? I think it was just Britain. So um so in Britain, the government, one of the government offices, I can't remember what the government office was called, but one of the government offices basically put out this game. It was the UK Home Office. Okay, thank you, Renee. Fact checking me. They put out this game that was meant to be used in schools. And basically, it was meant to warn kids about the dangers of potentially radical. What's the word I'm looking for here? Basically, warning against radical ideas, right? And by radical ideas, they mean things like being anti-immigration, basically being too far right, which means something different in the UK, but you get the idea. And there was a character, yeah, it was basically just being nationalistic. Any kind of like UK first, yeah, it was a whole thing. But in the game, there was a character called Amelia, and Amelia was the character who would, if not stopped, basically, would take the main character, you, down the path, the dark path of ultra radical policies and the bad ending would be you joining an anti-immigration protest with Amelia, basically. But everyone who was sane, looked at Amelia, who was like this kind of alt chick with like a choker and short cropped purple black hair, and they were like, actually we like Amelia. And so tons of people started like making art of alt or punk depending, started making art of her being like, anti-immigration, nationalist, as a positive thing. And the UK Home Office got really, really mad that people started coming to the wrong conclusions of what they wanted. Here, let me see if I can find a non bad Amelia artwork. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware. Apparently some people played it like on their streams and stuff like that. All right, none of these are going to work. They're not inherently sexual, but okay, some of them are actually. Okay, this one's good. This one is good. This one's fine. Okay. This one is fine. And none of these are like actually like, they don't cross that line. They were just some of her in kind of revealing clothing. Okay. Let me pull this up. No, I don't want to pull it up on Krita, please. Let's see here. Display capture. Yep, here she is. That was Amelia. So this was her in the actual game. Because obviously, it was a government office, so they made it in like the corporate slop style. And then this was people making like art of it as like in like a positive sense. Oh yeah, AI lies to you all the freaking time. It's like actually crazy. And most people don't think about that, and they just go with it. They don't think for themselves anymore. Anyway, this is Amelia. So this was her in the actual game. This was people making art of her, and it was a big thing for a while. It was all over social media at one point. I kept waiting for someone to like remake Pathways, which was what the original quote unquote educational game was called that the UK Home Office put out. I kept waiting for someone to like re-release it, but like with actual art and stuff like that, and make it like an actual dating sim with Amelia being one of the main like love interests. Oh my gosh. That's terrible, Decaf. You got to let me know about that one later in a DM, because I want to make sure I avoid that. I would not, in fact, want to know the recipe for that. Yeah, exactly. Because you never know what chemical processes you could just randomly come across. Mixing cleaning chemicals in your kitchen, which actually is super dangerous. You should never do that, because you can very easily make extremely toxic things by mixing two very buyable things from Walmart. This is not an endorsement. I'm just saying it can be very dangerous. You should not mix things unless you know that they are mixable. Straight up, you can make like some extremely toxic like gases and liquids. Yeah, please. Yeah. And I feel like it's extremely it's extremely scary that can happen, because like you think of like new homeowners or people who just bought their first apartment and they don't know, like, gosh dang, you could accidentally like mix like just straight up toxic chemicals and like you could die. Wait, hold on. I gotta read that. What? 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 The AI's need to please is working against the sensors. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Golly. That's scary, dude. That's extremely scary. Goodness gracious. Speaking of King of the Hill, I really, at one point, I'd like to get a grill. Obviously, not now. I don't have the money for it. But at one point, I would like to get a grill, but I have nowhere to put it. Our backyard is like a postage stamp, and our quote unquote back porch is just like a square block of concrete that's split down the middle because our house is 20 years old. Yeah, AI is, I won't go so far as to say it's all bad and inherently evil, but the opportunities to do evil with it are many. I would love to do that. Unfortunately, the first thing about that is money. The second thing about that is me being too sick to properly run like a small homestead. I am, I'm getting better, but I don't think I'd be able to do all of the work necessary to run something like that. I know it's a lot of hard work. Even just my small garden that I have now is a lot of work to keep up. And if I was actually trying to go like food, that would be a lot. Yeah. My wife at one point was thinking about where it was like asking me if we could ever get like chickens. But then she was doing some research on it and was like, actually, given what we have, we should get like a couple of goats and maybe some like food rabbits. Because food rabbits they actually give you like a lot of meat for the amount of money you spend on their care, because they breed so quickly. But my problem is I don't think I could kill a rabbit. And if I'm not going to be the one like killing it and like cleaning it and stuff like that, I don't feel like I deserve the proceeds from it. And I know that there are plenty of people who would just take their livestock to like a butcher to do that for them, but like I don't know. I feel like if I'm not willing to do it myself, I haven't earned it, if that makes sense. Same thing with chickens. Though I think it'd be a lot easier for me to learn to kill a chicken for like food. It's just killing a bunny for food. And I'm not even like a super sentimental person about animals, but it'd be hard. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I for that reason alone, I'd probably be more inclined to get chickens and maybe a goat. Um, because goat's milk and goat cheese are both extremely nutritious, and obviously eggs are super high in nutrients. Just missed it, Renai. Um, it's just yeah. With our current house and things like that, it's just not viable, as well as the money, like building a chicken coop or a rabbit hutch. It's just not viable. Now, getting a goat to eat all of our weeds and grass and stuff, that'd be chill. Because then I wouldn't have to mow. Get a couple goats, and they'd probably take out our entire backyard in Not that not that long. Dang, you are off your game today. Goodness. I think it'd be funny if my neck was tall enough to just like get all the stars and you guys never got any of them. Yeah, but ducks are messy, and I know chickens are too, but ducks are insanely messy. I wouldn't want to get a duck. Also, I feel bad because where I live is very prone to drought, and that would be pretty bad for ducks. Every time my wife sees a video of like a pygmy goat or a miniature goat, she's like, "See, if we just get a couple of these, they'll mow our grass for us, and they're adorable." And I'm like, "We're not getting miniature goats." It's that one. It's that one Team Fortress 2 animation from a long time ago. Ha! Women. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm looking up to see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Hold on. I gotta get it. I gotta pull it up here. Here it is. Oh, it's muted. Dang. I'm not a good streamer.
Women.
I think about that on a regular basis, and my wife doesn't get it. Then again, my wife really doesn't get a lot of my humor. That's because I'm stupid. And I have a stupid sense of humor. Renai knows. I'll be like losing it in the other room because of something I saw. Yeah, exactly. Not beating the we're the same person the allegations again. Oh, I gotta turn on the fan. I forgot to do that. It's hot. I can't afford to lose the brain cells from the heat. I need all of the ones I still have. Bro, stopping myself from doom scrolling is hard. That is a hard habit to break. Oof. Yeah, I knew some I had some military friends in college. I have an idea of the sense of humor. I got a pretty good idea. I was saying I'll be like losing it in the other room because of something I saw on Instagram or something like that. And my wife automatically knows that she's about to get the most inane like meme she's ever seen that she'll look at for a second and just like shake her head at. But I'm still going to send it to her because I want to share things that make me laugh. She tolerates me. I'm looking forward to when VBS is over and we can stream together again. Stream some more Valheim. That was always a lot of fun. And I know she was enjoying it too. She's just been way too busy with prep. She took on way too much this year. Fortunately, she's gotten a lot of help. A lot of other ladies in the church have picked up a lot of the slack. But she's still got so much to do. And I'm only able to help with so much. I've taken on some of her projects, but I know they don't quite turn out the way she wants them, and so she ends up doing part of them or most of them herself whenever I do them. So I pretty much took on, because she was also kind of put in charge of the drama, little skit for the kids for VBS. So I pretty much took that over for her when I decided that I was going to write the script instead of using the absolute garbage that we got from Answers in Genesis. Just kids deserve better stories. Like there's no reason that Christians have to make like substandard, subpar creative works. You're welcome, Renai. I like inadvertently reminding people of things. I'm with bated breath. Okay. I thought that's where you were going with that, but I had to know what you're going to say next. Yes, because God is only interested in bland, underwhelming stories. That's why he has an entire book of narrative full of epic battles and crazy escapes and love stories and poetry and wisdom. And yeah, I could go on. Literal angels fighting each other and like come on now. Remember when Michael was like, was it Michael or Gabriel? Oh crap, now I'm forgetting. The one who had to contend with the Prince of Persia. Man, what a fight that must have been. Two seemingly immortal, like spiritual beings duking it out. Crazy. It was Michael. Okay. Just fact checking myself again. Because I forget. I mix up a lot of Bible stories. I'm really bad about that. Yeah. It's reflective of the current state of the American church and our overly dry understanding of God's. Yes. Well, and the misunderstanding of fiction in general. Smacking my mic around like it's the 1950s. I shouldn't have made that joke. I'm sorry. What was I about to say? Well, just the misunderstanding of fiction in general. You know, the church's misunderstanding of fiction and fantasy, especially. You know, the demonization of anything that isn't completely grounded in reality. I say in a very air quotes way, considering things like Left Behind. But anyway, I was part of the Left Behind generation. I never read them, but I remember being, I wasn't made to like watch the movies, but at one point I think I had watched at least one of them. Yeah, I did leave that behind. What was that one book? I Kissed Dating Goodbye. Good golly, that book has done so much. I feel like, in my opinion, that book has done a lot of damage to the way that we, as Christians, like evangelical Christians specifically, think about and see relationships. It had its good points, but gosh dang, it overcomplicated things to the extent that people are Moist Critical is a fellow brother in Christ. I didn't know that. Has he made like a public confession or just like mentioned it offhand? I'm just curious. Because I've never heard that. You really cannot read my little quote back there. I mean, you can read some of it, but anyway. Recently talking about his baptism, reading scripture on stream. That's sick. I mean, that's great. Praise God. I mean, yeah, a lot more people are like thinking about, even people who've been like staunch atheists, like pretty big content creators and stuff, atheists or agnostics, are like thinking more about Christianity and stuff uh as the evil of humanity grows more obvious, and as the subtle demonic influence, where I believe demons do influence the evils currently going on. Obviously, I think most of it is human evil proliferating, but as all of that comes more and more to light, I feel like more people are just being confronted with this. Yeah, I'm a little wary of that, but that's just my pessimism coming out. Like I want people to profess their faith, even if it's a young faith and maybe a confused young faith. Not everyone should immediately become teachers. I feel like there's definitely a bit too much of that. But like just professing your faith publicly on, especially if you have a big platform, I mean, praise God for that. Yeah, we need more people to be rooted in scripture. But other than that, I want it out there, That's pretty sick. I'd like to see that actually. I may look that up later. Cuz I'd like to see if there's like clips floating around of that. I'd love to see that. I'll bet that has a lot of people angry. Bet that's ticking off a lot of people. Especially because most people saw Moist Critical as a kind of a centrist. Like when a quote unquote right winger, starts professing Christ, it's kind of seen as like, oh well, of course they were going to get there eventually. The right the right is inextricably tied to white supremacy and Christian fundamentalism. But when like a centrist or even a leftist like comes to Christ, I'm sure a lot of people are angry with that. Well, they can't go back where they originally came from. That's part of the problem. Sorry, I know I mentioned this like every stream, but I'm listening to Paradise Lost, and I'm just thinking about that. I want to see if I can find a quote from that, because this is one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. See if I can find the specific quote I'm looking for. It's got to be one of the more popular quotes. Let's see. It's got to be somewhere. If I can't find it in another couple of pages, I'm not going to look anymore. But why are all of these about like the fall itself when there's so much like of the good before the fall that is so beautiful? Let's see. Okay, one more page and then I'll stop looking. Why is that one's just in Arabic? What the heck? All right. I was unable to find it, but well, if I had the physical book, I would just go and look at it, but I don't. I'm listening to it. I want to own the physical book. Both of them. Which I need to put that on my list of physical media to buy. Me and my wife have a running list of physical media we want to own because we're trying to amass a collection before all streaming services are too terrible to use, basically, which is fast approaching. We were trying to watch something on Prime Video last night, just a TV show that she discovered and wanted to share with me. And the ads, man, the ads were egregious and obnoxious. I was like trying to show her something, like, because it was a cop show, so it's one of those shows where like little details matter if you want to like try and figure things out as you're watching, you know. And so I paused it to like try and point something out to her on the screen, and of course, 2/3 of the screen, as soon as I pause it, is taken up by an ad, and so I can't show her the thing. And I was just like, there was this immediate revulsion and like unreasonable anger within me that I just like rewound it like 20 seconds and just like tried to show her live, because I couldn't just pause it and show her, because as soon as I paused it, 2/3 of the screen, there's an ad. Ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Oh. Oof. Giving myself the hiccups. Dang. Hopefully those don't last. I feel like I've gotten like on the first step of like 3 different rants today, but I haven't like gone in on any of them, which maybe that's a good thing. I guess I was ranting a little bit about the whole VTuber sexualization thing, but I didn't want to get too into the weeds on that one because that there's some aspects of that particular discussion that, you know, might not be good for any new people joining. Though I always have my streams set to 18 plus just because some of the games I play can be pretty violent and stuff like that. And because I do want to be free to talk about, you know, some of the heavier stuff in the Bible and other things like that, you know, I just feel like that's going to be the better thing. I'm not very good at like bringing myself down to like child levels. You know, doing children's ministry at my church or talking to my wife's nieces and nephews, it can be hard for me to like communicate with them properly. Even in my own creative works, it's hard for me to make something that's like really child friendly. I can do it, and it's not like I have a bunch of like, you know, horrible stuff in it other than maybe some like violence, but all the same, it can be a difficulty. Am I about to get like a wall of text from you, Renai? I'm fine with that. I just you started a thought there, and I'm wondering when I'm going to get the rest of it. Or is that in response to something I said and I just glossed over it? I do that. Because if I don't finish a thought, oftentimes I lose it. Just circle back to people's like questions and comments, you know. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. The you know-ness. You know. Unfortunately, the things that you think would be obvious about that debate are very not obvious to most people because it's it's hypersexualized content is basically just accepted nowadays. And to to go even further with that particular bit of nastiness, it's even lauded or like seen as empowering, and it's just like well, yeah, that's what it boils down to. I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult. Wonder what would happen if I put a yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It becomes a trophy or an identity. Yeah, for sure. What if I put a 3D filter on this thing? Uh, nope, that's the wrong way. Stop that. Default. Okay. Like, tilt it this way. Look at that. Could I tilt the... Could I tilt the chat? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Filters. Is it gonna let me do this? Ayo. Oh, it's out of frame. Dang it. Dang it. Let's see here. If I change the field of view, it will let me do it. Oh, hold on. Nope. Not properties. I want filters. How's that? How's that? Look at that. Oh, that looks sick. It's a little hard to read, but that looks sick. I'll make it a little bigger. Yeah. It's a little hard to read, but it is pretty cool. I could mess around with it more. Unfortunately, I can't change the text color on Streamer Bot chat right now. That's still something they haven't implemented, but maybe eventually I'll be able to. Yeah, it gets a little blurry around the other zone, but like the far area. But that's pretty cool. What does orthographic mean? Perspective or orthographic? Wait, what does that mean? Oh, I want perspective. How's that? It's a little off now in terms of the rotation, but I changed the field of view a little bit. Do I need to rotate it more this way? No, it's the other way. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. All right. Renai, thanks for being here. I will try and have fun. I'm going to be doing house stuff in Minecraft, so probably won't go to the mines, but if I get bored with the house stuff, I'll go to the mines. Either way, thank you, sir. God bless. Have a blessed rest of your day. Thanks for showing up. With Renai taking off, I'm going to take a small break, refill my water, take a little potty break, and rinse out my coffee mug, and then I'll probably just get to Minecraft. I don't think I'll stream too long today. I'd like to be done before my wife gets home. All right. Be right back. That looks funny on this screen. I may have to create a different thing. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that changes it on this. I'm gonna have to create a separate one. That's annoying. Let's see. Hold on. No, stream has not heard the song yet. I really want to. I really gotta figure that out. Wait, why did that do that? Why are you like this? I'm looking forward to whatever you come up with. I'm gonna have to add an entirely new overlay to this. In the meantime, I'll just let it stay like that. It's gonna look funky, but it is what it is. Okay, I'll be right back. Almost got it. Be right back. You got the star. Look at you. Now that Renai's not here to cop all of them. I gotta remember before next stream that I need to like create an entirely new like chat thing for the ones where I don't wanna have this be like the thing. But I like it. I like it on this screen. I think it's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna boot up the game. Booting it up. Oh, that means I'll have to undo the filter for the game screen. Let's see here. Filter. I'm gonna have to hide that. Annoying. But it should be a fairly easy fix. Sorry, I should have muted. That was my nose. I forgot. My bad. I may have installed some mods, but it's okay. It's not that many. I tested them all earlier, theoretically. I at least tested that the game would boot. Okay. That seems a little bit laggy, maybe? I don't know. My doggos are being cute over here. You guys stay. Stay. Okay, now. I'm gonna unequip my shield for the time being and get myself some building materials here. Okay, some cobblestone. Just grab everything I have. Some planks. Whoops. I don't know how many planks I'm gonna need. I may need some more dirt. Okay. Here's the deal. Whoop. Get out of here. Woo! Skull, why? This is why I didn't want you. How did you two get out in the first place? Get over here. Get over here. Boy, get in the house. Both of you get over here. Skull, Hati, get in here. Both, get in here. Both of you. Come on. Okay. Good boy. Oh my gosh. Are you both kidding me? Get over here. They don't want to follow me in. Can I? Hold on. Ignore any new crafting recipes. Those might be part of mods. Okay. I need string. Can I make at least one? Okay, I can make 2. They're gonna get in trouble because mobs are gonna start. Mobs are gonna start forming. Both of you get in here. Good boys. Oop. Good boys. Okay. I'm gonna sleep, actually. Ahem. Now. A big question. That is all right, Decaf. You've been extremely helpful with the knowledge you've shared thus far. Everything else, I'll just have to figure out. Plus, like I said, I got some mods, so I can't expect you to have knowledge of those. Okay. Here's a big question. Do I... And if I had more viewers at this moment, I'd put up a poll, but I don't, and that's okay. Do I go for realism? And by that I mean, do I try and pretend like gravity exists? What the heck? Are you guys straight up destroying my freaking farm? I will end you. Anyway, do I pretend like gravity exists, or do I just build what I want regardless of whether or not there may or may not be gravity? It is a traveling merchant, but I can't buy anything from him, and it looked like he was destroying my friggin' farm. Excuse me? More dirt. I'm gonna have to mine some more stone and stuff. Okay, back to the question I was asking. Do I pretend like gravity exists, or do I make some kind of gravity-defying structure because I can? That's my big question at the moment. Well, you know, I want to at least try to be sensitive to the people watching me. Go for realism. You can make. Yeah, you're right about that. And I definitely have like kind of a vision for what I want to make. Not anything too crazy. Just like, you know, I have some ideas. What I want to do is I think I want to build like a really cool like wizard's tower, which means I'm gonna have to make a pretty specific shape, which might be a little difficult. It might be somewhat of an oblong wizard's tower. I'm not sure. Or maybe the base will be wider than the actual tower itself. That'll probably be more it. So I'll make the base here, and I'll make, like, the tower up above. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I want to go for. I want it to be really tall. Like Orthanc tall, you know? I want to absolutely, like, Lord of the Rings Mog the entirety of the rest of the world. Okay, I built the floor out of wood. Okay, well, that's fine then. I'm gonna need to go and chop more wood too. And of course, I'm planning to build like a massive land bridge over to that mountain and have something over there too, so. Plus I have a mod that allows you to eventually create like these waystones that let you teleport, so travel won't always be like a barrier. You can't get them until much later on, but it won't always be like a huge barrier of entry. Hold on. How did I do this? Oh, right. I made the floor out of... Right. It wasn't full. Okay, yeah. It wasn't full planks. It was the slabs, I think. Let me see. Where's the slabs? Oak slab. Okay. Spam Risk is calling me. Hate that guy. Okay, I'll probably go as far out as my little watchtower here. And probably stop there for the base. I'm gonna go down into the mountain too. Like I'm gonna be digging down to have like a cool basement eventually, but for now it's just we're just going with this. As for how far I want to move forward, I'm not sure. Fall risk, yeah. True and real. Ah. And my floor probably won't always be... I'm just using basic materials for now, but I'll probably replace them down the line. I just want to get at least like an idea of what I'm doing. I probably won't build like the whole structure until I have a better idea of what materials I want the final structure to actually look like, if that makes sense. But I definitely want to... This is like the base. This is the template, you know. I want to have at least that made. And if I never change it, then it is what it is, because that's not like the final product, you know. We'll get there. We'll get there. It was a good way to return get all the dirt back that I was using. Between the llamas, my dogs, and the merchant, I'm going to commit violence. I'm gonna need to go get more wood. The merchant's just creepily watching me doing home improvement projects right now. Kind of annoying. TBH. Listen, if you don't want your llamas to fall, stop bringing them up the cliff. Which actually, that's exactly the kind of areas llamas originally come from. Are you kidding me? Like, llamas originally came from, like, really mountainous areas. They should be really good here. They keep falling. Okay. I don't think I want to expand much more this way. I guess I want to keep a good barrier for my farm, but I'll probably go like here and then stop there maybe. I don't know, I like to keep some of the when it comes to me, into like survival crafting games, I like to preserve some of like the natural, if you guys get in my way, I swear. I like to preserve some of the natural like landscape. Like some trees, like you know, a good portion of the mountain. I want it to remain looking like a mountain, you know. I don't want to make it just this flat-topped plateau or whatever. Unless, you know, I was going for a plateau, in which case I would. But I guess I do need to be like fighting things and crafting things and getting XP because that's how I enchant. That's like the points I use to enchant and repair stuff. So there is that I need to be thinking about. Is that a creeper that I just saw? I think I'm paranoid, but I swear I just saw a creeper. Okay. It's getting dark. I'm almost out of materials anyway. This will be a good little stopping point here. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm gonna need to go back down the mountain and get some more wood. Oh, okay. How's the game volume, by the way? Do I have more planks? I do. I'll turn them into slabs real quick and I'll use everything I have and then go from there. Okay. I'm gonna have to go down the mountain and get more resources. But I'll finish what I'm working on here. That llama sounds like it's like trying to hurl, and it's not chill. And it's a little unnatural and it doesn't fully fit with the terrain, but it's okay. What have you done? And by you, I mean me. What have I done? I'm gonna have a lot of dirt by the end of this. This music kind of reminds me of some of like the town music in some of the Zelda games, particularly Twilight Princess. It's giving me very like Twilight. Excuse me. Hold on a minute. Iron's sitting here right under my freaking house. Okay, that was literally it. Oh, all right. Whatever. This could be hazardous, so I'm gonna fill that. Usually I wouldn't care, but okay, that's that. Okay, so before I go down and get more stuff, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. Be right back. Get to listen to the wonderful sound of the... That's the wrong screen. Hold on. Ah, gosh dang it. Okay, there we go. Broke my transitions again. Okay. Minecraft is the start of my my homesteading journey, because I get the joy of coming to the end of a build for the day and realizing that I'm gonna need more material, so I got to go and chop more logs to make my cabin out of. I did see a mod that gave Minecraft trees physics, but I don't feel like that's really gonna do anything. Whoa. Can we stop that? Okay, sorry. Okay, trees. I need trees. And then I'm gonna need stone as well, so I'm gonna have to go down on my quarry. I feel like this whole next Minecraft day is just gonna be me gathering more materials. Which once I get rid of these copper things, my iron stuff that I can theoretically repair should suffice. I don't mind chopping down all these trees. I got plenty of other trees. Oh. I assume that's I assume that might be a negative thing. Ow. I was just going to chop a tree and I fell into a hole. As in, like, you read something like, oh my gosh, I have to run because everyone else is crazy kind of thing. I know that Michigan has some problems, unfortunately. And I know everywhere has problems. That's not like a diss. That's like a, I feel sorry for you. Oh, good Lord. I know about that. I heard about that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I heard about that. Was this like deadwood? That's sick. I'm gonna leave that. Will more mushrooms grow on that? That's really sick. Well, yeah. Well, I don't want to dox myself, but there's some freaking crazy stuff happening in my state too that makes me... It makes me scared for the future of my state. This is all oak, right? Okay. Okay, it's almost nighttime. Dang it. What is all the red that just appeared? You see that? I have to assume those are enemies, but what are they? Oh no, it's just like random stuff that... Oh, is it like that? This stuff degrading and leaving behind things? I don't know. I got this mini-map mod, and I don't know what everything means yet. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like I said, there's some stuff happening in my state that is... Ooh, Sigil Moon. It's frustrating, and, like... There's only so much I can do to help change it, you know? Yeah. Because it's, you know, it's not happening like in my municipality or in my part of the state, but it's going to spread here like 100% for sure. I need to create a double wide staircase actually. That might be worth it because I need to mine stone anyway. So I'm going to mine stone from there and create a double wide staircase because bringing up my horse after I tamed it was very difficult. I'm actually going to put away this lead because I don't need that. Oh yeah, I got that random iron. Oh yeah, I got move matching items. That's chill. Yeah. I don't know, dude. There's a lot of crazy stuff. Let's see here. I need these stairs. That'll do. What is that horrible slurping sound? It did remind me to drink water though. What are you guys doing to my freaking garden? Are you kidding me? Okay, hold on. I'm making a fence. Yeah, that's one of those things. Though you know that they would try. They would make up something. And people are just dumb enough to like actually believe it, you know, is the problem. Like, you know that there's going to be all kinds of like scandals that are based off of like AI videos soon and all that. Like 100%. I need a gate. I think I have a gate somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, I got a gate here and more fencing. I'm going to have to expand my farm at some point, but for now, this is just to keep this guy off of my stuff. Don't like suits? Oop. Might as well. Oh, yeah, dude, the Brandon Herrera way? Yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Okay. You know, I actually met Brandon Herrera. I got to meet him. He was sick. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. I need to hoe and replant some of my stuff because the guy was freaking, the gosh dang merchant ruined my stuff. Yeah. Whoop. I screwed that up. Literally fell on it. I don't know if my water is going to make it all the way over here. I went to a, yeah, okay, my water's not making it all the way over here. I went to an event, do you know, Wendigoon, the YouTuber? He does, like, a lot of, like, conspiracy, cryptid kind of content, all that stuff. Yeah. So he was a part of a, the production of a movie, like a fan movie for the Stalker series, a couple years ago. And they did a showing. They were doing showings all over the country, and they ended up doing a showing in a city pretty close to where I live, like 30 minutes away. And it was a chance to meet literally my favorite YouTuber, which I like never. I think it's kind of cringe having like going gaga over celebrities and stuff, but this is the one guy that I was like actually really like, oh yeah, I would really actually like to meet this guy in person. So for my birthday that year, my gift was I got to go and I got to go to that showing and meet my hero, my favorite YouTuber. So Brandon Herrera, who's a pretty big friend of Wendigoon, was also at the showing along with a bunch of the other unsub guys. I met like all of them. Yeah, I love Wendigoon. Anyway, yeah, I got to meet all of them. I actually have pictures with Donut Operator and Brandon Herrera. It was sick. It was one of the coolest things I've ever gotten to do. And like I said, I'm usually not the kind of guy who even likes stuff like that, but it was genuinely cool. So yeah, that's my story. I actually gave, I made like a custom, like a little meme that I framed. I put it in a little frame for Wendigoon. It was like an inside joke from like his channel. And at one point he had it displayed in his on his set before he moved pretty recently. But it was cool. Yeah, I'd love to be able to do it again, but I can't really travel to do stuff like that. It was, like I said, it was a pretty unique situation for me, but it was really cool, and I'm super glad I got to do it. I'm gonna make like little sconces down here. Definitely not something I'd usually do, but super cool that I got to. I definitely feel privileged to have been there. And honestly, the show was super cool too. Like the movie, it actually ended up being like really cool. Very well done for being like an independent project. Yeah, I don't think he was there at this particular show. It was mainly like the unsub guys who were with Wendigoon there, because they were all pretty nearby, which I guess probably doxes me a little bit, but I've said it now. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty new to all of that because I'm not like a, you know, I like guns just fine, but it's not like a major interest of mine. I'm still pretty new to that whole scene, so I don't really know all of like the gun tubers and stuff like that. I'm almost out of stairs. This is a good way to get stone, though. Plus, this'll help me later on. Yeah, no, I've seen him on the Unsub show, and I've seen a bit of his content, especially while he was covering the Buffalo School District stuff, which is still wild to me. I don't know if you know about that, but it's crazy. But yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. He seems like a pretty genuine guy. Yeah. Pretty crazy stuff. But yeah. I know him from that. I haven't really watched like a ton of his just like normal content. I need my iron to repair stuff. Let's see here. Ooh, I'm getting pretty low on iron. Oh, wait, why do I have another iron pickaxe just here? Well, okay. Whatever. I don't know why I have that, but I'll take it. Can I make some torches? Yes. Okay, that's fine. Oh, really? That's awesome. Congratulations to him. Yeah, and I know Donut Operator just recently got married, and that's awesome. Always love seeing that. More marriage, more babies. One before the other. Because, yeah, let's do things right. But yeah, loving to see these guys, like, you know, settling down and being able to, you know, find that happiness. It's genuinely good to see in the world, is more of that. Genuinely want to see more of that in the world. That's awesome. I only just started rewatching Unsubbed again. Not for any particular reason, just picked up on a recent episode and started watching again. But I hadn't watched for a while, so I probably missed that episode. Unfortunately, it is one of those things where I do really like all of the guys, and I think the show is entertaining, but when they get really into like the military and gun talk, like, I like listening to it, but it's definitely not like my world. And so it's kind of like, okay, you know, I can only relate to I can only relate so far, you know what I mean? And it's not as though you have to be able to relate to content before you can enjoy it, but I think you can understand what I mean, where I'm coming from. I'm really not being consistent with where these torches are placed. You know, it's like me talking about coming from a homeschool Christian family for people who were never homeschooled, you know. You might have fun listening to me describing it, or telling like funny stories or something, but if you can't relate to it, there's only so much you can like there's only so much you can relate to. But, you know, there's always a somewhat of a ubiquity of human experience that we can relate to, you know. I suppose I do need to repair my shovel, because I don't think I have a replacement shovel. No, I gotta make sure I repair it before it breaks. It would be stupid to let it break at this point when I have the resources and ability to repair it. Though I am getting low on iron again. Kind of annoying. If these torch sconces don't even end up working to like light the staircase, this is gonna suck. Okay. Keeping an eye on my shovel here. Trying to make sure my stairs work. I can accidentally place them upside down like I keep doing. Oop. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Amaze, amaze, amaze. Oh, this is excellent. Okay. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Good, 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 good. Okay, so that's the staircase done. I got a bit more stone and more wood. So I'm going to go and put up my stairs. See about repairing my shovel, and then I'll keep going on the foundation here. Put away that stuff. Oops, sorry, Hati. Get my foundation back out. I got cobblestone. Put some of the dirt up. Put up the andesite for sure. I don't need this currently. Sweet. Iron. Gosh dang, that's so expensive to repair it. It's less expensive to just make a new one. I may have to consider that the next time Okay. Gosh dang it. Sorry, I was trying to do some calculations in my head. And for me, that's brain on full power. Simple calculations. The belts are screaming. My brain needs an oil change. Oh, heck. Oh, oh, that works. Sometimes the block placement range is pretty okay, and then sometimes it's very strict. Gosh dang it. Okay. We making progress. I'll get the new walls outlined soon, but I won't break down the old walls until I have something to show for it. This is not going to be symmetrical, because I'm working with like the mountain. Think of it like I have a wraparound deck, you know? Like... I make myself a... What do they call it? What is it? Antebellum style, you know? Give myself a little wraparound porch around my house. Except it's going to be a giant wizard's tower, so, you know. But Maybe I can make a lighthouse. Ooh, that'd be sick. I want to live in a lighthouse. Okay, okay, okay. New plan, new plan. Not a wizard's tower, but a lighthouse. Oh, that sounds sick. Okay, 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 okay. We're gonna make a couple stone slabs. You'll see what I'm going for in a minute. Oh, do I have any deep slate? That'd be chill. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Check it. No, stop that. Nice. Nice. Okay, so I think the new door is going to be here. Oh, fell into my quarry. It's okay. Be like a little... kind of a little porch here. Maybe I can probably make some little pillars to make it look a little better. Do I have any more fencing? Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Give me a sec. Can I make pillars? You know what I mean? Gosh dang it. Okay. Okay. So these do not work for pillars. Can I make actual pillars? I'm gonna have to check that. Wait, I think part of the floor is gone. Yeah. Okay. Now then. A little bit of asymmetry is okay. Little too jumpy with the build button. Whoop. Right clicks on a hair trigger right now. So here's the eventual plan. I make a giant land bridge over to that mountain, and that's where I put my farm and my garden. But then this is where my house is. Not a bad plan. This is going to take a lot of stone. Okay. I want this to be at least like 4 or 5 high because I want to be able to make multiple levels, and then I'll start making the tower on top of the base. But this will give me tons of room to expand and get like new crafting stations and stuff like that, as well as a lot more storage. Then I can get a bit more organized about my storage and stuff like that. Because Because right now everything is pretty haphazard just because this is like my starter house. Like this bit. Okay. Maybe 4 high. No, it needs to be about 5 high because I got to be able to build up. How tall am I? Am I 2 blocks high or 3 blocks high? Okay, I'm 2 blocks high. So, yeah, it would need to be about 5 blocks tall for me to do like a floor and then another level, like two levels. Or would 4 be enough? I don't know. Dang it. Gonna need some ladders. Of course, that creeper hadn't blown up half my other ladders. Super vibing right now. Building. Oops. Well, actually, that's fine. I won't be able to finish yet. But I can get close. At least with the walls. I may be able to go all the way around. No, because if I want to do 5 blocks, that's not going to work. Five blocks high for 2 stories. Heck. Okay, I'm gonna need some ladders. Ladder. Ladder? Oh, yeah, that'll work. That'll be plenty. That'll be plenty. Whoop. When did I make... Okay, whatever. Wait. Profile? I don't know. Okay. Dang it. Okay, well, out of stone. Why wasn't the water able to get there? Huh. I may have to look into that. Okay. Need more stone. Which is, let's see here. Okay. Just gotta go to my quarry. It always comes back to mining. I say, playing the game called Minecraft. I've legitimately entered a Zen state, just building and brain empty. No thought, just vibes. Like I said last stream, I'm very low stimulation content. I'm not constantly like, whoa, look at that, chat, look at that. I don't personally have the energy to be like that, gotta be honest. Like I'm not that kind of person. Oh, I wonder what the standard BPM is for how much I'm mining right now. And by BPM, I mean blocks per minute. I got it. What are the numbers behind my mining here? My mining operations. I gotta get max efficiency. Remember, your net worth is your net worth. I couldn't remember how to say it because it's so stupid. Bro, finance bros they get to me. You got your finance bros who are like the personifications of greed. You know, you got your modern 7 deadly sins. You got your finance bros or crypto bros that are like greed. You got your OnlyFans girls, your e-thoughts that are, you know, lust. You got your AI bros, which are pride. You know. Okay, that might be enough to at least finish the wall. I won't have enough to make the ceiling probably. Fill that in with some other slabs, maybe. Sorry, I was just seeing how ugly it was. It annoyed me. I think I have some extra slabs that I made, actually. Let's see here. Well, I've got these slabs. I don't have more of these. I can make a couple. I don't really care. Keep slate. Yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Better. Okay. Sleep the night away. Yes. There's probably a way more efficient way to build, but I don't know what it is. This is actually pretty good. I'm just crouching and moving forward so I don't fall off and mess up the flow. This seems better than what I was doing, at least. It feels better. Let's put it that way. Okay. Now then. Ow. We make a bunch of slabs. Where's the cobblestone slab? Oh, I just made all of it. Ah, that's okay. I'll probably need it. Hello, Elijah. Welcome. Oh gosh, it got later than I thought. Okay. I am doing well, and yourself, sir? Do I want to make it one block taller, just so I'm not, like, cramped in here? I just used up all my cobblestone, so it doesn't matter. I would say the same thing about myself, to be honest.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah. Thank you for that decaf. What do you mean I know what I must do? What do you mean? I have an extra door, actually. Oh, build a secret tunnel. Well, I'm going to make a basement, but I'm trying to decide if I want to build another block up so that I can have 2 stories without it feeling super cramped. You know what I mean? I did name the dogs. They're Hati and Skull from Norse mythology. And I named my horse Cherry Blossom from the area where she was found over there. My body. My body is broken. Okay. I don't know. I don't have enough cobblestone to go around again, I think. Maybe I do. Let's find out. Yeah, this stream has been all building, so no adventuring in this one. Pretty boring to watch, but chill if you like that kind of thing. This is turning into much more than I thought. Because this is just supposed to be the base of like a really tall tower. I'm gonna make a big lighthouse. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that yet, but I'm gonna do it. I've seen people make stuff like that, so I know it's possible. Yeah. Big lighthouse. Okay, I had like just enough. That's sick. Okay, that's sick. Ow. Okay, so that'll be where the floor is of that story. Okay, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more ladders. Fortunately, I have more of those. Yeah, that's my thought, is that a lighthouse would be dope. Guess we'll see if I can actually make it. I'm not very skilled at the building in this game. Okay, yeah. Going one block up was the right option. Gosh dang it. Ow. Well, I can already tell this is going to be a nightmare. Yeah, and I'm sure I'll end up destroying half of this and rebuilding it at some point, but that's how it goes in these games. I've done it a million times before in Terraria. Okay, this is not sustainable. Okay, what's the best way to do this? I put the ladder out here. I'll just do that. I can relocate if I need to. It's chill, it's chill. The only reason I'm doing it this way is to give the house a little bit more texture. If I end up finding a new way to make like a cooler roof, I'll do that. And I know you can do like steps to make like a sloped roof. But since this is going to have a tower built on top of it, I can't do that. I'm still getting used to the building. I don't play Minecraft very much. This is the most I've played Minecraft in literal years. Maybe, yeah. And I know I'm going to I'll be making adjustments and stuff like that as I go. This is just like I want to create the base because I'm getting to the point where my starter base is getting a little cramped, and I know I'm gonna need to make more like crafting stations and all that stuff as I progress in the game. So this is all part and parcel with how I generally do survival crafting games. I pretty much have a baseline like play style that I do in like every single one of them, depending on their mechanics, you know. Oops. Oh, whatever. Always build a crappy little starter base to, you know, just get my foot in the game, get my foot in the door, so to speak, and then eventually, you know, expand when I need to, when I start needing to expand, and go from there. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And since most survival crafting games have at least some of the same mechanics, it usually works. There's only a few where it really hasn't. This is literally like one for one the way I do stuff. Cause like once this is all filled in, you know, I'm gonna go down and basically break down the walls of my old house, and all of my stuff is gonna look cramped because it was built in a much smaller space. And then I'll eventually build a new storage. And once my new storage is built and organized, then I'll start to move my crafting stations. It's all the same. Almost out of materials, though. It depends. It really depends on the game. Like, it's taking way longer in this game. It's taking way longer in this game just because I'm not used to it. But once I'm used to it, it'll take a lot less time. There's really no rhyme or reason to it, really. I'm gonna have to change the placement of those torches, actually, because when I make the second story. But I'm not there yet. How do I make both doors open at once? Let's see here. I know there's a way to make a button. Okay, carpet. Okay, cool. Good to know I can make that. Interesting. Pressure plate. I want to know how to make these doors open, like just stepping on a plate or something. I'll get to that later. I need to go and get more cobblestone, but I don't know if I really want to go on another whole mining excursion right now. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Should probably think about ending stream here. I wanted to end stream before my wife gets home. I'd play Minecraft all evening, but I am married. So there's that. Constantly forget to eat. A bad habit. All right, Decaf. Well, I'm about to head out myself, so have a good evening. Hope bath time for the girls goes well. Hope no one struggles too much. And I hope your oldest gets to feeling better too. Remember you mentioning that earlier. All the best to you and your wife. Have a good night. Okay, that's better. That was bothering me. Okay. Let's actually like take a little look at what we got here. Dang, that looks terrible. That looks awful. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll make it look better later. Oh, what if I put stone like stairs every other block or something to make like little turrets, and then it'll kind of look like a fortress, you know, instead of just a big blocky modern structure. Yeah, what if we do that? Okay, so that'll be my goal for next time, because I don't have any more stone and I don't really want to go mining for it right now. So next time I will do that. All right, we gonna. I need to fix my chat. There we go. Okay. All right. Well. Thank you all for coming to the cafe. I'll be back tomorrow, Lord willing, to do another stream. And I think that one's supposed to be Darksiders 2, because I need to get back to that game. But anyway, I believe that the dawn is coming, which means that I and my cafe will be disappearing. However, we will return again when night covers the world and a little bit of light is needed. Until then, my friends and my dear little embers, chase the dark away and have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks for coming, Elijah. Sorry that I keep ending stream whenever you come in. Glad to hang out with you, my friend. God bless you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.